SMT Nation, we back nation. We finally have kind of some closure to a situation that's been ongoing for, I think, a couple of years. Dish Wireless, they've had this AWS Spectrum that they won about a decade ago at auction, but they did so, I think, what I would call fraudulent in a way. Anyways, let me give you guys the details, get you caught up to speed. It's not a good ending for Dish. Let's just put it that way. All right, bad ending for Dish Wireless. All right, so the link to the original article from Dana will be in the description, so I'll put that there for you guys. Also in the description is the Real SMT Buy Me a Coffee link. If you want to support your creators directly, that's one way you could do it. Love the cafe, keep the SMT caffeinated and motivated. Also, if you're looking for a really good deal on your wireless service, look no further than the Mint Mobile Deflation Promotion. That's right, folks, the best wireless deal in the game. In the deflation promo right now, which is running through, I think, the second week of July, score yourself a 50% discount on the unlimited plan. Normally $30, try $15 a month. All right, so use our partner code mintmobile.com/Sneed. Get those savings, their legendary customer care, that incredible value. Do all of that by using our link, and then, of course, you'll be supporting the channel in the process. All right, so let's talk the situation here. All right, so Dish successfully was able to acquire the spectrum at the AWS-3 auction. I think it was about a decade ago. All right, so it's been a while, and you know, Dish has been identified as kind of running a fraudulent operation to garner, I think it was like a 25% discount for the spectrum. And the way they did this was they had connections to two other business entities, North Star and SNR Wireless. Those two companies having close association with Dish. The trouble is that Dish wouldn't qualify for any type of discount, but those companies would because of the size of the companies or who they serve. So they took advantage of it, right? And they basically scammed the FCC, or tried to scam the FCC. And this ongoing legal issue resulted in Dish being fined $515 million and then losing the spectrum, having it stripped away from them, which had a value of $3.3 billion. That's what Dish paid for it, right? So all in all, you're talking about basically, with legal costs in fighting this, you know, Dish probably has spent over $4 billion, and they're going to be left with nothing. Dish, for the most part, it's just been this unfruitful effort to try to appeal, right? They've gone to the Supreme Court, they've gone to the FCC, they've done everything, they've exhausted all their options, and now in the failure with all these appeals, they have nowhere left to go. And basically what we're left with, the outcomes for Dish, is that this spectrum is likely going to be re-auctioned, and it's probably going to be re-auctioned pretty quickly, probably as early as whenever the FCC has its spectrum authority reinstated by Congress. So once that happens, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. And of course, Dish can get involved. I think they can get involved in the auction. I don't think they're going to be exempted from it. I mean, if the FCC really wanted to be a big baddie and, you know, sink their teeth into, you know, these types of problems and prevent them from happening in the future, they should probably keep Dish out of it. Now, that obviously hurts Dish, and it hurts the competitive landscape, but, I mean, what they did was beyond the terms of the spectrum auction for that spectrum. So, anyways, whatever the outcome is, T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, Dish, possibly other holdings companies are going to be at play for the re-auction, right? And then it could generate a whole bunch of revenue, and who knows what the cost is. I don't know. It's all speculation what the reserve price would be. They might want to reinstate the old terms from the original auction. That would make sense. Whatever I think 197 licenses would be valued at relative to the per megahertz, you know, cost of it for that auction. I don't know. We'd have to go back and look at the details. It was a pretty big auction. AWS was massive. For those of you that know, AWS is band 66, right? 1700 megahertz, 2100 megahertz, I think, that frequency. And it was basically the reason we have video playback through data on our phones, because prior to that, it was texting and calling and 3G, right? AWS really pushed us forward in 4G LTE because it was pretty nice channel bandwidth. Where I haven't looked at the auction details, and I'm not sure. I think maybe Dish had like 20 megahertz paired, possibly, or 25 megahertz or something. I forget the setup. I know that they had AWS 3, AWS 4, AWS H, right, in those different auctions. But anyways, this obviously a bad ending for Dish. But you know, when you do fraudulent things, when you toe that line, when you violate terms, I mean, who's there to feel bad for them? You know, so tough loss, tough setback. But hey, you know, you play with fire, you get burned. Or what's the other saying? You mess with the bull, you get the horns, I guess. Whatever. Tell me what you guys think of this. Tell me what you think is going to, you know, how things are going to play out. There's also a possible outcome that Dish might have a stipulation in which they have to pay the difference if the AWS 3 licenses sell at auction for less than the $515 million fine. They might be out more money as it is. It's crazy. It sucks to be Dish. Anyways, sound off in the comment section below. You know, the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.